Happy Republic Day, my Hindu brothers and sisters. I say Hindu because I feel closest to the Hindus. And in all the years I have been in India, I have realized that Hinduism, the knowledge that is behind Hinduism, is a universal spirituality and that it addresses itself to all, regardless of their ethnic origin and religion. So today I'm talking to you. Unfortunately, the future of Hindus in India is in question, even though you have a government of your own at the moment. Hindus are still being murdered in Kerala. They're becoming minorities in many parts of India, whether it is Kerala, whether it is Kashmir, of course, where Hindus have been chased out of their own homeland, whether it is in Assam, in West Bengal, in UP and Bihar, many districts now, Muslims are becoming a physical minority. And this is very worrying indeed. Of course, Hindus are today still the overwhelming majority in India, but they're treated as a minority. Their temples are under government control and their funds are seized, though the mosque and the Christian churches are not subject to that control and are still free. The madrasas are subsidized, the Christian schools are subsidized, but no such things for Hindu colleges. The customs of Hindus are under attack, whether it is Jallikattu recently, or the holy colors, or even the firecrackers. All this, of course, under good environmental pretext, but which actually are direct attacks on the Hindus. Your own constitution grants many rights to minorities, such as to divorce upon the simple pronunciation of talak, talak, or separate civil courts, or separate rights, but no such things to Hindus, especially if they do not belong to lower caste. Indeed, Brahmins have become a minority in India, and they're subject to a lot of discrimination in UP or in Tamil Nadu, where the government doesn't grant any Hindus, Brahmins, any post. Your own government always tries to please the minorities. Your own prime minister makes it a point to wish the Muslim on their holy festival, which is right, but doesn't wish the Hindus. He invites a lot of Muslims to his house, to his home, to his office, whether it's Amir Khan, who makes fun of Hindus in his film like PK, or whether it is at the moment the leader of the Emirates, UAE, who has not been very friendly to India. In the world of literature, intelligentsia, and journalism, which is peopled by Hindus, but unfortunately they are the descendants of Macaulay, because they see India through very negative Western manner, always criticizing India, always criticizing and denigrating Hindu customs and Hindu culture. It's very sad that Hindus are attacked by Hindus. We see that in the United States, forget about Mr. Donald Trump, but Mr. Obama, who was African and Muslim roots, swears on the Bible, but in India, nobody talks about the Bhagavad Gita, which is the greatest book at the moment in the world, a book of knowledge, which should be the Bible of the future of the world. Nobody talks about the Upanishads, nobody talks about the Vedas. The Muslims, the children are taught the Quran very young. The Christians, the Indian Christians, are taught the Bible, in catechism or in schools. But nobody teaches Hindu children their own scriptures. They have no knowledge about Vedas. They have no knowledge about Kalidasa, who's probably one of the greatest poets ever, on par with Shakespeare or Homer. Nobody talks about Sri Aurobindo, the greatest philosopher of the 20th century, whose work, the foundations of Indian culture or the life divine, are so prevalent, so beautiful that they are relevant today. This is very sad, and in Indian schools and universities, children are not taught any Hinduness, and as a result, they have become good only for export. The greatest brain drain in the world is that of the Hindus, and it's still happening today. All Hindu parents want their children to go abroad in better schools, better universities, better jobs. So they go and feed all the medical doctors in UK, the software engineers in California, the best research universities. It's all people by Hindus. We should be in their home, and their children and grandchildren are lost for India forever. They never come back, and this is a tragedy. But it is in politics that Hindus are the most deprived. Though there is a BJP government in power at the moment, the Hindus are still treated as a minority in India. And we would like to see this government being more pro-Hindu because it was elected by the Hindus, from the Dalits to the Brahmins. There was a united Hindu vote for the first time. Even Mr. Vajpayee didn't get as many votes as Mr. Modi. So Mr. Modi needs to cater to this Hindu vote because he's going to need it again in 2019. It's an illusion that Mr. Modi has that Muslims and Christians will ever vote for him. I think in Delhi, which is so far away from the rest of India, Mr. Modi, who, when he was in Gujarat, was in the center of India, was in touch with people. Now, it is not his fault, but because of security, because of the Delhi being so far away, because of so many bureaucrats surrounding him, he doesn't seem to have any clue that he needs that vote, and he needs to address that vote. So he needs to please the Hindu vote, like all the other politicians always trying to please the Muslims, doing reservations for them, wishing them. No, Mr. Modi needs to do something for the Hindus because he needs the Hindu vote to get re-elected. He needs another term if he wants to implement what he has pledged. The repeal of Article 370, a uniform civil code, the building of the Ram Mandir in Ayodhya. These are all promises that he made, and which is not going to fulfill his term. So to get another term and to get a strong vote, he needs the Hindu vote, and he doesn't seem to realize that. It is sad today that Hindus, which are still the overwhelming majority in India, 75 to 80%, one person in every six in this planet is a Hindu. 1 billion Hindus in the world. Most literate people, most lawful people, most tolerant people, are neglected. They are the future of the world because Hinduism, the knowledge that is behind Hinduism, is universal. It teaches that God manifests Himself or herself, at different times using different scriptures. And this is why a Hindu today is still the most tolerant in the world. He can go to a mosque, he can go to a church. He recognizes that the avatar has many names, but the reverse is not true. A Christian or a Muslim will have difficulty in entering a temple, will have difficulty in doing yoga. Swami Vivekananda and Sri Aurobindo and so many others, have said that Hinduism is a knowledge that will save the world, that India will become the spiritual leader of the world. And we see that it is happening already. Hatha Yoga went all over the world. Every person in the world today practices Hatha Yoga. Every gymnastic is derived from Hatha Yoga. Meditation is used in many places. American universities, American companies use it to distress their executives. Pranayama, Sri Ravi Shankar is teaching a form of pranayama that can be used by everybody, whether it's Muslim or Christian or Westerner or Indian. This is the outer tools of this knowledge. And of course, the inner knowledge is that, which has been lost today in the world, is that, you have a soul inside, This is the divine spark in you. It gets born and born again. It's only the body that dies. This is the message of the Bhagavad Gita, And it strives towards perfection, and there is karma. Whatever you do in this life will have a repercussion in future lives. It's true for a nation also. A nation has its own karma, and you have a dharma. You need to respect that dharma. You need to work for that dharma. This is a wonderful knowledge, that the world needs to survive. So today on the Republic Day, I wish you and I wish the Hindus, that they become more respected more recognized, that the Hindus themselves start fighting for their own knowledge, for their own people, and that Hinduism becomes the future religion of the world. Namaste.